your business is growing, but you feel like everything still runs through you, you don't have a delegation problem. You have a delegation debt problem. It's what's keeping you stuck. Kevin Weir, your Action Business Coach, helping you achieve your business dreams. And if you want weekly content, go ahead and click subscribe. Let's break this whole concept down of delegation debt. A lot of business owners think they are delegating because tasks are off their plates. But here's the real test. If you disappeared for 2 weeks, would decisions still get made? Probably not. Or would everything pause until you got back? I think you know what the answer is. Because delegation debt happens when you hand off tasks, but you keep the ownership. You keep the authority, you keep the final approval, and you keep the thinking. And your team feels that. So what do? They check with you first, they hesitate, they escalate small decisions, and they wait for permission. Now, guess what? You're busy all over again. That's delegation debt. Now, you've technically delegated it. Yeah, that's true. But structurally, you're still the bottleneck. You're a small business. Yeah, you can get away with that. But when you're scaling and growing the size of your business, it becomes expensive. It slows decisions, it drains leadership capacity, it creates team dependency, and it makes growth seem stressful instead of scalable. Now, most business owners try to fix this the wrong way. They hire more people, they add more meetings, and they try to motivate the team. Now, none of that clears out delegation debt. There are 3 general levels of delegation. Level 1 is task delegation. Handle this. Level 2 is process delegation. Here's how to do this. Level 3 is ownership delegation. The results are yours. You decide how to achieve it. Now, scaling requires level 3 delegation. Now, if ownership never transfers over to the person, you're still the operator, just a more overwhelmed version of yourself. So how do you fix this? Document decisions, not just tasks. Most companies document what to do, a how-to manual, but very few document how decisions are made. What a good decision looks like, what guardrails are there in the decision-making process, what requires escalation, and what doesn't. If that isn't clear, your team will always default back to you, the business owner and the business leader. Now, second step is transfer authority clearly. If someone owns marketing, they own marketing, not run everything by me, which is the instinct that a lot of business owners have. You define outcomes, you define metrics, and you define non-negotiables. Then guess what? You step back, and yes, that's going to feel uncomfortable because you are wired to be a control freak. Yeah, let's be honest with that. Because here's the thing, is that control feels safe to you. But control is ultimately the ceiling. Third step is build a decision matrix. 3 columns. Go ahead and write this out. Column number 1 is what I will decide. Column number 2 is what leaders decide. And column 3 is what team members can decide. Write it down because ambiguity creates dependency. And dependency basically creates delegation debt. If your team is constantly asking for small questions, that's not a weakness, that's unclear structure. An unclear structure does not scale, so here's the practical challenge. Pick one of the areas in your business this week and ask yourself, have I delegated the task or have I transferred ownership? And be honest, because the gap between those two is where your growth is currently stuck. If this helped you think differently about scaling, hit the like button so more business owners can see it. And if you know someone who still is the bottleneck in their own company, share this video with them. And if you're building a team, practical fireworks every week, subscribe. Learn how to be a better business owner. And if this hit home for you, save it because you're going to want to revisit this when growth feels heavy again. Again, I'm Kevin Weir, your action coach, helping you achieve your business dreams. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.